Hey guys, hello to you all. I'm so glad that you guys are here with me today. It is time for another day of learning fun, and we're going to continue talking about animals. We've learned about a lot of different kinds of animals. We've learned about animals that live in the rainforest, animals that live in the ocean. We've learned about whales in particular. Today we're going to learn about snakes. So I know a lot of us were really excited about this topic, and I can't wait to go through it with you today. So I have a lot of fun activities that are going to help our brains be experts on snakes. So to get us started off today, let's look at our schedule and let's do number 1, story time. So a story that I found to help us learn about snakes is called Snakes. Biggest, littlest. So today we're going to learn about snakes and different kinds of snakes because there are tons of different species or different kinds of snakes. So this is called Snakes, Biggest, Littlest, and it's by Sandra Markle. And there's not an illustrator because these are pictures taken by a real life camera. So instead, we have a photographer who took all of these pictures. And her name is, it's a him, it's a boy. His name is Joe McDonald. So let's go ahead and read our story, Snakes. Snakes by Sandra Markle. Oh, here's the title page. Snakes, Biggest, Littlest by Sandra Markle. Photographs by Joe McDonald. And look at that picture of a snake opening up his mouth really wide. Oh, I bet we're going to find lots of good information in this text. Some snakes are big. This is a young reticulated python. It's one of the world's biggest kinds of snakes. Some reticulated pythons are as long as a city bus. Some snakes are little. Each of these young garter snakes is about as long as an adult's hand. When they are grown, they are still likely to be shorter than a person's forearm. So that's the bottom part of your arm. Garter snakes are one of the world's littlest kinds of snakes. The blind snake is even smaller. An adult blind snake is no bigger than an earthworm. Some snakes have big parts. The fangs of a gaboon viper are about 1 inch long. They are the longest fangs of all kinds of snakes. The skin around each fang is a pouch. The fangs are so long, they have to fold up inside these pouches. Some snakes grow parts that get bigger year by year, like the rattle on this rattlesnake's tail. When the snake shakes its tail super fast, the rattle makes a noise. The bigger the rattle, the louder the noise. How does it help some snakes to be big or little? To find out, you'll need to see how a snake lives. Can you see this rattle of a rattlesnake here? It's right here, where the arrow is pointing. First, all snakes are hunters. They must catch other animals to eat. The animals they eat are called the snake's prey. So snakes have bodies built for hunting. Snakes have no legs. That lets them hide under rocks and slip through narrow spaces. And it lets some snakes easily wrap around and hold on to prey. The cantil has a colorful tail with a special use. It's bait. The snake makes its tail wiggle like a worm. When lizards and frogs try to catch the worm, The snake catches them. Look at that cool part of its tail. Snakes can crawl, swim, and climb to hunt. That's because they have lots of bones to let their bodies bend easily. And they have strong muscles to move their bones. So snakes can loop side to side or push and pull themselves forward. Snakes' bodies are covered with scales. These are spots of thick fingernail-like material on stretchy skin. Scales keep snakes from being hurt as they crawl over sharp rocks, through tiny and thorny bushes, and up rough tree bark. The scales on a snake's back are small and overlap like roof shingles. These act like armor to shield the snake. The scales are also colored. This is the green bush viper, and its scales help it blend in and sneak up on its prey. The scales on a snake's belly are big and flat. These act like tire tread to dig in and pull the snake along. This green bush viper's big belly scales make it a great tree climber. Snakes have one big, clear scale over each eye. These cover the eyes like goggles. This is the horned desert viper. It can hide in the sand and not get grit in its eyes while it watches and waits for prey. Can you see it hiding in the sand, waiting for prey? But snakes do not have keen eyesight. That means their eyesight is not great. A snake uses its tongue to help it find prey. Flicking out its tongue, this copperhead picks up tiny bits of scent in the air. When it pulls its tongue back into its mouth, the snake uses it to smell if a prey is nearby. The forked shape lets the snake judge whether the scent is strongest on the right or the left. That helps the snake find its prey, even in the dark. Some snakes catch and kill prey by looping around it. This big African rock python caught a gazelle, which is about as big as a deer. Then the snake squeezed to make its kill. The python's big size lets it catch and kill prey that are too big for most other snakes to hunt. Goodness. Some snakes overpower prey and swallow it alive. That's how this little garter snake gets a meal. But it kills small prey like this frog. Such little prey isn't enough food for bigger snakes to bother with, so garter snakes can live around bigger snakes and not compete for meals. Big or little, all snakes swallow their prey whole. That means they don't take bites out of it, they eat it whole. All of a snake's teeth are sharp. They are not the right shape for chewing, so snakes have mouths built to open wide enough to swallow a whole meal all at once. A snake's upper and lower jaws are hooked together by stretchy bands and muscles. A snake's lower jawbone is made up of 2 pieces. A person's is made up of just 1. But these 2 pieces are also hooked together by stretchy bands. Now you can see the stretchy skin between the snake's scales. This egg-eating snake can open its mouth even wider than most snakes can. So it can swallow bigger eggs than other snakes that eat birds' eggs. For this snake, it's good to have a really big mouth. This egg-eating snake does not eat the shell though. The snake's muscles push the egg against its backbones until the shell cracks. Then the snake swallows the gooey yolk inside and it throws up the shell. Snakes can even swallow while hanging upside down. That's because all of the snake's teeth are aimed backwards toward its mouth. To swallow, the snake moves first 1/2 of its upper and lower jaws and then the other half. That pulls the snake's body over its food. Eating gives a snake the food energy it needs to grow bigger. But a snake's tough outer skin is like a snug bodysuit. So when the snake grows, it sheds its skin. It peels off in one piece, usually inside out. That leaves the slightly bigger snake with a new, bigger bodysuit of skin. So this is an eastern diamondback rattlesnake, and you can see he is shedding its skin. Here's the snake, and here's the skin that it's shedding. A rattlesnake's rattle also grows bigger each time it sheds, and that's about 4 times a year. A baby rattlesnake is born with a button on its tail. It doesn't make any noise, but each time the snake sheds, one piece of skin sticks to its tail button. When the snake shakes its tail fast, these bump together and make a noise, buzz. After the snake's rattle gets really long, the oldest bits at the tip break off. So this is a western diamondback rattlesnake, and you can see his rattle is here. The rattlesnake uses its rattle to stay safe. When an animal comes close, the rattlesnake shakes its tail. That means go away. Most animals obey. That means they listen. That's because a rattlesnake is armed with special teeth called fangs. These are the fangs of an eastern diamondback rattlesnake. What's dripping out is a kind of poison called venom. The eastern diamondback rattlesnake can grow longer than a tall basketball player. It is the biggest kind of venomous snake in the United States. Besides biting to defend itself, this snake bites to kill its prey. A rattlesnake's fangs drop out and are replaced by new ones about every 2 months. But the rattlesnake's venom does not kill right away. To avoid a fight, the rattlesnake lets its prey escape. Next, the snake follows its prey until the venom does its job. Then the rattlesnake swallows its meal. Not all rattlesnakes are big. This dusky pygmy rattlesnake is only about as long as a shoebox. Being small helps the snake hide and strike any prey that comes close. But the snake's venom only packs a little punch. So the dusky pygmy rattlesnake hunts little prey like lizards, frogs, and mice. Sometimes big and little kinds of rattlesnakes share the same hunting area. But being different sizes means they're not likely to hunt the same kind of prey. Remember the gaboon viper's fangs? These long teeth let the snake inject its venom deep into its prey, and that helps the snake kill fast. So, the gaboon viper can safely hold on and not use up energy tracking down its prey. The king cobra is longer than an average car. Its head is as big as a man's hand. This snake is one of the world's biggest kinds of venomous snakes, but it has little fangs. The tube in the snake's mouth is its windpipe. When swallowing its prey, a snake pushes the windpipe forward. Then it can breathe while its throat is blocked by its prey. Can you see the windpipe in its mouth? The king cobra makes up for its little fangs by injecting very powerful venom. The king cobra mainly hunts other big snakes. So injecting powerful venom lets the snake hunt prey that would be too dangerous for most snakes. A king cobra's bite could kill a full-grown elephant. Look at these hatching baby pythons. They will grow up to be big snakes. Growing up for a baby snake is all about becoming as big or as little as it was meant to be. A snake's size is its very life. Some are big, some are little, others have extra big parts. That is how each different kind of snake has adapted to live in its own special part of the world. So, where in the world do these snakes live? So, here is a map of our world. In Mexico, that's where the Cantil snake lives. In the United States, where we live, we have blind snakes, copperhead, dusky pygmies, eastern diamondback rattlesnakes, garter snakes, timber rattlesnakes, western diamondback rattlesnakes. In Brazil, that's where the huge anaconda lives. In Namibia, the horned desert viper. Tanzania, blanding tree snake, egg-eating snakes, gaboon viper, and green bush viper. In Thailand, the king cobra and the reticulated python. And in Kenya, the African rock python. So there's different kinds of snakes all over the world. The end. I don't think that I had ever read a book on snakes until today. So I know that I certainly learned some really cool information that I had no idea about. Like one example would be I learned that the reason why the snake's tongue is split into two parts is so it can use it to kind of smell its prey and know whether the prey is on the left side of its body or the right side of its body. Super interesting. I had no idea. I'll bet you guys learned some pretty cool facts about snakes as well. So now let's continue learning about snakes and talk about our thematic video. So I found a SciShow Kids video all about snakes on YouTube, and I know that you guys are going to like it. Then our craft. We can make a snake that moves. So let's take a look at the art project that I found on YouTube. That paper snake looks pretty cool. I'll bet if you guys make it, you will have a blast. And the best part is that you get to play with it when you're all finished. What a bonus! All right, let's move on. Our next activity is number 4, our writing prompt. So, in your summer writing journal or on any paper that you have, you can write either a story about what you think you would do if you were a snake, or you could write about if you like snakes, write why you do or why you don't. All right, that takes us to the very last item on our schedule, and that is number 5, flashcards. So remember, when we're writing, there's certain things that we need to do. We need to put a capital letter at the beginning of each sentence, punctuation at the end, put spaces in between all of our words, form our letters correctly, stretch out our words correctly, and of course that includes trick words. Now, trick words we can't really stretch out because they're tricky, right? The letters in trick words try to trick us. That's why it's so important that we learn them. So, to help us learn our trick words, let's go ahead and practice our trick word flashcards. He, she, do, from, we, to, be, and, are, me, or, was, for, the, a, you, by, one, is, I, they, as, his, has, have, of, my. Great job, guys. I'm sure you're getting so much better. Now, let's practice some words that we can sound out, either when we're reading or when we are writing. Now, remember, if you can know a word without sounding it out loud, that's amazing. That's great. That means you're getting better at reading. So when I show you these flashcards, if you know it without saying it out loud, then just say the word. You only need to sound it out if you are not sure of what word it is. What is this? Tug, t-a-g. Dog, d-a-g. Pop, p-a-p. Now remember, CH says ch. Ch, such. Cap, k-a-p, cap. Did, d-id, did. Last one. Jet. J-E-T. Jet. Great job! So for flashcards, we only have one more deck left. Addition and subtraction. So remember, we're looking for either plus symbols, which is addition, or minus symbols, which is subtraction. So for plus, we add our sets together. For subtraction, we take some away. Here we go. Is this addition or subtraction? Addition, so we add. 1 plus 0 equals 1. Here's subtraction. There's a minus sign. 3 minus 3 equals 0. 3 plus 1 equals 4. 1 plus 0 equals, 0 plus 0 equals 0. 5 minus 3 equals 2. 1 minus 0 equals 1. 4 minus 3 equals 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 minus 1 equals 1. 2 plus 3 equals 5. Great job. I hope you guys learned a lot today and had fun on our video. That is all that we have left. Now remember, on days when we don't have videos, you can always work on one page in your summer practice packet to make sure your brain is ready for first grade. And you can also work in your memory book. All right, guys, I hope you guys continue to have a wonderful and fantastic summer and are having some fun. I will see you guys on our video for next week. Remember that I love you guys and I miss you so much. Till next time, bye.